My wife and I like to feed the birds and watch them, particularly during the winter time. This here is a shot of the bird feeders from the fall. You can see some of the nice colorful birds that were there that time. In addition to the birds, we get, unfortunately, squirrels that drive the birds away and try to eat a large percentage of the feed. Our first attempt to get rid of them, you can see the bird feeder to the left and higher. It's got no roof. It's one of those expensive bird feeders that you buy. It has the special lever on the front. If the squirrel sits on it, it can't get at the feed. Well, the squirrel got frustrated with that and actually tore the roof off, and it's a metal, heavy gauge steel roof. So we're looking at some other opportunities. But in addition to the beautiful, colorful birds that are relaxing to watch during the winter, we get a lot of other animals. We had a couple of deer that went by while I was editing this video. I didn't get those on film. And then this colorful creature, the red fox. But the frustrating guy is coming up here. You'll see him on top of the post in a second. And he runs around through the woods and scares all the other birds away to make sure he's the only one who can get to the bird feed. I've heard that if you have a steel pole, it's hard for them to climb. So my next attempt, after buying the expensive and useless metal bird feeder, was to put a metal post in the ground and move it out from the trees so it can't jump, to see if that will deter the little red buggers from stealing all the feed. I'll leave the other bird feeder there so he can still get some feed. I don't mind him getting food, I just don't want him to eat everything that's in sight. So the first thing I do is I cut off about 5 inches of from a 4x4 hardwood pallet. I'm just centering up the blank, if you will, on either end, and I'm going to mount this on the lathe. I'm going to turn about 2/3 of the length of the blank of the hardwood from the pallet, the 4x4, just to round it off, make it look a little better, and on the pole, and also it's easier to hold on with my hand. This will be used, you'll see in a minute, I'll put a hole down through the center of it to be able to mount the bird feeder on the steel pole. I've never tried this before, and hopefully it will last and work. Just using some sandpaper to smooth it off. I'm only using a 100 grit sandpaper. It's going to be painted outside. It doesn't need to be very smooth and fancy. Here I'm using a hole saw, 1.5 inches in diameter, just to define the opening and the correct size, same diameter as the hole I'm using. And then I'm using a chisel to just further define the diameter. And because it's end grain, it's pretty hard. Drill wants to go off center, so by using the chisel I can get it down so far, and then using a Forstner bit on the drill press, it's about 1/2 inch I believe, or 3/4 of an inch Forstner bit. I'm just further drilling out the hole. It's down about 2.5 inches to 3 inches, between 2.5 3 inches deep. There you can see the hole there, the depth. And I'm going to spray paint that with some green outdoor paint. First I'll put some a good amount of exterior glue, because it's end grain. Use an excess amount because it will soak in. A piece of scrap pine that I had from my scrap box, and I'm just putting about 3 or 4 1.5, I believe they're 1.5 inch nails, just to hold that in place, putting that in the glue. That should hopefully hold the bird feeder to the stand I made, or the holder, the mount. Just screwing the mount that I built. It's been painted green. similar color to the bird feeder, with some screws, and you'll see in a minute as well that I'm glad I'm using screws and not nails or something else to mount it. Here's the metal pole. It's just a fence pole that you'd use for using a wire fence, and you can see how that turned piece of hardwood fits nice and tightly on top of it. Holds it in place quite well. Now to top up the bird feeder with some sunflower seeds and see if there's any success. I'm going to set up the tripod here, put the bird feeder in for a few minutes, and just watch how a second, although that old bloody squirrel will probably come and raid the... Here comes the squirrel. Right up that pole as if it was climbing stairs. Is inside the bird feeder and staring at the camera. I think he even flashes a moon. He's an arrogant little bugger. And he'll be just in there for the longest time until all the seed is gone, or most of it. It won't allow another bird to come near it. On to the next option. See if I can work out a way to keep them away. Homemade solution. Here I've brought the bird feeder and the holder back in the house, and I should have left the bird seed outside. I forgot, just had to dump it on my workbench, but I'll clean that up in a second. And here's why I'm glad I've used screws and not nails, because I've got to take this apart, take the stand off the bottom of the bird feeder. I had this scrap piece of tin. It's probably around 18 gauge. It's fairly heavy. Corrugated. It's corrugated and it's galvanized. Won't rust. I'm just centering it here. Find the center and mounting the stand to the bird feeder with a couple of screws, with 3 or 4 screws. This old drill, I've had that for almost 40 years. Pretty close. Maybe. And it's never failed me once. I think it cost me about $18 way back when. Anybody who's starting out in woodworking or machining, don't ever think about not buying a cheap drill. These corded ones, they seem to last for a long time. I'll take this outside and see if this works. Sorry about the quality of the camera shot here. Not sure what happened, if the camera got cold on this snowy day, whatever. But you can see the squirrel there to the left. Actually, you'll see 2 squirrels in a second. Up he went and tried to go and couldn't get up past the tin. See the second squirrel coming over from the far right there out of the woods. Just going to make another attempt here. Down he comes. Doesn't make it. Success. The cheapest way proved to be the best. Homemade. Anyway, if you liked this video, I'll leave you with a few shots of the birds and the bird feeder without the squirrels. If you like this video, I hope that you subscribe, thumbs up, and follow me. And I have all kinds of other videos.